Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yes.
There are many people that worship shaitan in our area. What is your advice in protecting ourselves from their tyranny?
Okay. They're worshipping shaitan? Ah, idiots. Why you worship shaitan? What is shaitan going to give to you? Paradise? Shaitan gives you hell, right? Shaitan was kicked out from divine presence, so they want to get kicked out from divine presence. Don't worry, they're not going to touch you if you run to Allah. If you run to the Prophet, if you run to the awliya Allah, they're not going to touch you. They will not have permission to touch you. Shaitan is not more powerful than Allah, His Prophet, or His friends. The key to that lies in ourselves too. Why is that? Shaitan, only way that he can enter, because all that shaitan does, really, is just to whisper. Nothing else. Shaitan is not making your hand to move. Shaitan is just whispering, giving us waswas, giving us wrong suggestions. Why we have to listen? You see? Why we have to listen? They are listening because they let their ego to take over. Only with the ego can open the doors to shaitan, nothing else. That's why this tariqat is concentrating on the ego. Ego cannot touch. The shaitan cannot touch you if the ego does not open the door for the shaitan to enter. That's how it is. So, it comes back to ourselves again. It comes to ourselves again to understand what is our ego, what is this ghaflat, what are all these wrong characteristics that takes over us. When that takes over us, like anger, jealousy, stubbornness, and the arrogance, it takes over us. And it has hundreds and thousands of tricks and traps. Once it takes over us, shaitan will quickly enter. You can be in zikr, you can be in prayer. You can be wearing full sunnat, but you are letting your ego to control you. The ego then takes its power and it takes its support from shaitan. And the ego is just going to open the door and say, shaitan, come in quickly now. So how are you going to protect yourselves? You have to control your ego. How are you going to do it? Find a trainer. Find a shaykh. Through sohbat, you understand yourself. You understand your ego. Then that's the time you will not let shaitan to enter. Because you're going to see coming from miles away. You have a strong feeling. Your heart starts to work that time. This is no good. You're not going to open the door to shaitan. You're not going to be around shaitanic people. You're not going to be around shaitanic places. You're going to pull yourself away. And you will know how to protect yourself. Because shaitan's kingdom is very powerful now, isn't it? This is the kingdom of Dajjal. Shaitan and Dajjal, they are best friends. But if we put ourselves in this system completely, and we refuse to come out from this system of Dajjal, then that oppression is going to touch us. Not only that, we are going to be part of the system that oppresses others. Now that's a bigger thing that is going to happen. So, pull yourselves away. Find good jamaats to spend time with. Then there's a time where the system is not going to touch you so much. We cannot get rid of the system now, because to get rid of the system, we have to wait until Sahibul Zaman arrives. But a big responsibility for us to prepare ourselves for that time. Because there may be people, no, there will definitely be people who at the last minute they'll be tricked They're Muslims, they're believers. But instead of supporting Mahdi alayhi salam, they will be supporting Dajjal. This is serious. Everyone is going to be tested. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, this heavy test coming, and asking Allah protection against the tricks and the traps, against the fitna of Dajjal. And he's saying such a big test is going to come that even those ones in the graves, they are going to be tested. So what about us? How are you going to know this? All these tricks and traps of Dajjal, be around those ones who are concentrating on that. Then your eyes will be open, you will see what is right in front of you, whether it is coming from Rahman or coming from Shaytan. Then you will have protection, inshallah. May it be easy for you, may it be easy for everyone, inshallah. Fatiha.